About where your tax dollars are headed.
Thank you. I'm live at Tommy's Place, where the Political Student Assembly is hosting the 2023 Spring Debate. I'll be back later to tell you all about it.
Annenberg TV News is next.
The truth matters. Lies have consequences.
Fox News and Dominion voting systems have come to a settlement in Dominion's defamation lawsuit against Fox News. Hi, I'm Jose Romo.
And I'm Daryl Fair. Fox News has agreed to pay $787 million for its false election fraud claims during the 2020 presidential election. The announcement came just hours after 12 jurors and alternates were selected. Dominion attorneys said the settlement represents accountability.
The truth does not know red or blue. But for our democracy to endure for another 250 years and hopefully much longer, we must share a commitment to facts.
Fox News issued this statement. We are pleased to have reached a settlement for our dispute with Dominion voting systems. We are hopeful that our decision to resolve this dispute with Dominion amicably, instead of the acrimony of a divisive trial, allows the country to move forward from these issues. Dominion Voting Systems sued Fox News for $1.6 billion. The two sides reached a settlement of more than $787 million. As a USC communications law expert says the details of the agreement may never be made public.
Does it get paid? How does it get paid? Maybe Dominion gets $787 million worth of advertising space on Fox. We don't really know yet what those finer details are going to be and whether or not the exact amount is 787 or it's some other amount or whether it's ever going to be paid.
The dollar amount in this case is the largest publicly known defamation settlement involving a media company in U.S. history.
Mayor Karen Bass delivered her first State of the City address. She spoke in the City Council chambers and will need the support of council members to achieve her goals.
I am 127 days into my administration, and I cannot declare that the state of our city is where it needs to be. But I am proud to report that together we have brought change to the city of Los Angeles. That's the new LA that we're building together.
Mayor Bass has focused her time in office on numerous problems plaguing the city. Homelessness was at the top of her agenda, as it has been her entire time in office. She also wants to increase the size of the LAPD and the Los Angeles Fire Department. She wants to improve roads and invest in more infrastructure projects. Homelessness is also a major focus of the mayor's first budget, released this morning. Take a look at just how much the mayor is planning to commit to the unhoused crisis. The plan includes more than $1.3 billion to address homelessness. $250 million of that will go towards the Inside Safe initiative. It's a plan to move people from tents and encampments into motels and hotels. And $4 million is slated to continue street medicine efforts, which include working with the USC street medicine team to deliver health care to the unhoused people.
Additional funding is not going to change those larger pieces that drive a lot of this problem. And so, more resources will help kind of ameliorate that trend, but it's not going to solve the problem in and of itself.
Mayor Bass hopes her budget priorities will help to advance a new LA.
Also a focus of the budget, expanding the number of officers in the Los Angeles Police Department. The department has been struggling to maintain a force of 9,500 officers. Mayor Bass aims to reach that number by the end of the next fiscal year with her new budget.
So we are launching an urgent recruitment campaign with incentives for new recruits. We will provide financial incentives to city employees who help us find new officers. We will support a program to bring recently retired officers back on the job. And of course, as committed, we will hire civilians at LAPD so officers can move back onto the street.
In addition to attracting new talent, Mayor Bass and the LAPD have plans to bring back recently retired officers to fill immediate voids. And we're joined by Annenberg Media's Michael Mellinger. Michael, you attended Bass's budget meeting. What can you tell us about it?
Well, look, it's been quite a busy 24 hours for the Bass administration and Mayor Bass herself. She had her first State of the City address last night, and then her first budget comes out this morning. I listened to a bunch of her budget advisors this morning, and Mayor Bass later this morning as well. And listen, one of the things she didn't say last night was the city is in a strong place. That was kind of echoed this morning, She was kind of saying, how can the city be in a strong place when there's still 40,000 people on the streets? And that's clearly reflected in her budget with the efforts towards homelessness. And so that was kind of sentiment we heard from her this morning.
And we have already spoken about her efforts for LAPD, for the housing issue. You got to hear from her today. You got to listen to her address last night. What are your impressions sort of from her administration moving forward with these two subjects?
Well, I mean, I think, listen, look, she campaigned on homelessness. That was the top issue for her, and it's been and it's reflected in this budget. And, $1.3 billion going towards the issue in general, $250 million towards Inside Safe. And, look, with that program, they're looking at actually buying motels, buying hotels, buying properties that'll drive down the cost of the program in years to come. Hotel rates are subject to the market, and so by investing in that program and buying up properties, they'll be able to achieve a lower cost in the long term. And look, with police, right, we might see numbers that we haven't seen since the early 2000s, and bringing back the recently retired officers for 12 months to fill the immediate void is going to be a thing that she's going to do. But we're also looking at trying to get new officers in there, and I think that was, the focus of her plan, trying to build it back up to the 9,504 officers mentioned in the budget that she wants to have.
Well, Michael, thank you for speaking with us here today. We'll toss now to speak, continuing on the topic of LAPD, such as their officers complained after information about them was released onto the internet last month. The Stop LAPD Spying Coalition posted that information on its website, and now coalition members say LAPD is taking down that information that should be public.
This should concern anybody who has a vested interest in getting information about these public institutions. That's the press, but also the general public. One of the only mechanisms we have to hold these institutions accountable is through public records requests like that.
What we want to see here is accountability. What we want to see is that the processes that are in place be respected.
Provided this response to Annenberg Media. As a result of the city's litigation, rosters have been taken down for review. The coalition says it will sue LAPD to keep the information public. That includes names, photos, and badge numbers of more than 9,000 police officers.
LAUSD teachers are one step closer to a new contract. Annenberg Media's John Walker filed this report from today's school board meeting.
LAUSD teachers and staff have reached a tentative agreement for a 21% pay raise over 3 years and a reduction in class sizes. Teachers will also receive retroactive pay. The school board approved the agreement at this afternoon's meeting.
It is the first of its kind equity contract that sought to erase historical wrongs, but it's just the beginning.
A director for United Teachers of Los Angeles spoke at today's board meeting and called today's agreement an historic win.
Our members, all hardworking folks deserve to be able to live where they work. To be able to afford to live in the communities where they work and serve.
Teachers and administrators across LAUSD were thrilled by this morning announcement. And here at 32nd Street Magnet School, teachers were excited to get into that inbox this morning. I spoke to a few teachers and staff here about their thoughts on this morning's tentative agreement.
A lot of teachers want to feel valued, and even though we get that in verbal affirmations, it's nice to have that in a financial way.
I think it's a relief. And I think it's excellent, and I felt like we had deserved this from a while ago.
Each individual student that we can decrease in the classroom means another student that we can give more individualized attention to, and every student is coming in with their own set of needs.
UTLA members will vote in the coming weeks to ratify the agreement before it's back to the LAUSD board for final adoption. For Annenberg Media, I'm John Walker.
Jewish communities across the globe are observing Yom HaShoah today, a day dedicated to remembering the victims of the Holocaust.
Adam,
Hillside Memorial Park and Mortuary in Culver City held a service this morning. Tonight at 7, USC Hillel will be hosting a commemoration of its own.
The Jewish culture, we believe we have to remember. We have to remember what has been done to us in order to build a strong community and make sure such things will never happen again. So it's important, even though it's tough, to set the time and remember the 6 million victims of the Holocaust. Right now in Israel, millions of people are stopping their life for one day and, focusing on that.
Hillel's service will provide a moment of commemoration through storytelling. Best-selling author Karen Perlmutter will share the story of her father, Holocaust survivor Avraham Perlmutter. Coming up, Annenberg Media's Faith McGrath had the chance to speak to a deaf casting director. Hear about her journey to Hollywood.
First, the former NFL player's story on his book to design a game plan for financial success. We sat down with Devin Kennard.
Also, the Political Student Assembly is hosting the Spring 2023 debate. We'll take you to Tommy's Place, where Trojan political groups are dunking it out.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write him a text or knit him a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write him a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
The USC Political Student Assembly is currently hosting their Spring 2023 student debate. Justin Ha is outside Tommy's Place now with the story.
I'm outside Tommy's Place, where the USC Political Student Assembly is hosting the Spring 2023 political debate. Students from all sides of the political spectrum have begun filing into Tommy's Place for the debate. The semi-annual debate is in partnership with the USC Political Union, Trojan Democrats, College Republicans, and the Center for a Political Future.
So we'll be covering 4 different topics during this debate. The first is gun control. The second is affirmative action. We are looking at immigration, particularly on the US-Mexico border, and then finally climate change. And if we are not having these conversations, we will not be informed when it comes to voting in the future and in the upcoming election.
Red or blue, may the best debater win. If you want to see for yourself, the debate will be going until 7:30 p.m. Once again, I'm Justin Ha, and back to you in the studio.
LA's Union Station unveiled an art exhibit focusing on 12 neighborhoods and cities in LA County from the perspectives of artists. As part of the project, Journeys Continued LA Communities Through the Eyes of Artists, artist Stas Orlovsky focused on the Expo Park USC area. Orlovsky based his artwork on the images of USC Expo Park's Rose Garden and the Natural History Museum. And now let's go look at what the weather has in store for us. Rory, tell us more.
Yeah, thanks, Jose. Well, the weather recently has been a little bit hot and cold, like a Katy Perry song. So let's look at the current conditions. Right now, the weather is sitting at 62 degrees with the humidity at 55%, but this week the weather has been kind of all over the board, so let's see what this week has in store. On Friday, we have a high of 73 and a low of 53 degrees. Saturday and Sunday, we kind of have the same type of weather, 64, 69, with the same low of in about the low 50s. And on Monday and Tuesday, we again have the same kind of weather. We're warming up a little bit for a 74, 76 degree weather and a low of 52 degrees. We end the week on kind of a hot note, the perfect popsicle weather. So I think I'll pull out that popsicle mold and make some homemade ones to tan. That's all I have for weather. Let's bump it over to Jeremy and see what he has for sports.
Thanks, Rory. Today was senior day for USC's beach volleyball as they took on Cal State Bakersfield. Stay tuned to find out who won. Tonight, USC baseball takes on Cal State Northridge. We take a look forward at their upcoming schedule. And finally, the Los Angeles Clippers take on the Phoenix Suns tonight in Game 2 of the NBA playoffs. Our predictions are coming right after the break.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Marissa Rio.
And I'm Jeremy Cole. Earlier this afternoon, USC beach volleyball dominated Cal State Bakersfield on senior day. The number 2 ranked Trojans took less than 2 hours to take down the Roadrunners. In fact, USC didn't drop a single set and blanked CSU Bakersfield 5-0. After today's win, the Trojans improved to 11-0 at home and 25-2 overall. As I said, today was senior day, so USC honored graduates Jenna Johnson, Ashlyn Rasnick-Pope, and Madison Shields, as well as seniors Harper Halgren and Caitlin Cummings. USC presented them all with a bouquet of flowers, a nice bottle of wine, and a framed jersey. USC will take on number 3 ranked UCLA and number 6 ranked Loyola Marymount on Thursday to close out the regular season.
USC has a home game tonight against CSUN at 6:30. The Trojans will then go against their crosstown rivals UCLA for a series starting on Friday. The Trojans came up short 5-3 the last time they played the Bruins. The Bruins scored a pair of runs in the second inning, and sophomore Jack Holman hit a RBI double in the third. UCLA added 2 more runs in the 6th. USC tried to catch up with Nate Clow hitting a 2-run homer in the 9th, but couldn't prevail. The Bruins have 2 players listed in the Pac-12's top 4 pitchers. Callie Austin sports a 2.7 ERA, and Alonzo Treadwell has a 3.15 ERA. The Trojans versus the Bruins' first pitch is scheduled for 7 p.m. Friday at Dado Field. The Los Angeles Clippers are on the road tonight against the Phoenix Suns for their second game of the playoffs. The Los Angeles Clippers beat the Suns in Game 1 of their playoff series, 115-110. Kawhi Leonard poured in 38 points and was 13 for 24 from the field. Kevin Durant led Phoenix with 27 points. This marked the first game the Suns lost with KD playing. Russell Westbrook struggled offensively, shooting only 3 of 19 from the field, but was on fire defensively. His block against Devin Booker at the end of the fourth ultimately sealed the game.
Like I've always told you guys, whatever's needed of me to win the game, I'll do it. I'm just grateful that, T. Lou and the staff believe in me regardless of my shots not falling.
So, Jeremy, do you think that the Clippers have what it takes to win in Game 2 tonight?
I think they definitely have what it takes. Will they win? I'm not sure. They shut everybody up in Game 1, but in Game 2, I like the Phoenix Suns. I doubt they're going to lose 2 in a row, one at home, and then secondly in the playoffs. And tonight, I'm looking at Kevin Durant. He's their best player. He had no shots in their final 6 minutes. That's ridiculous. That's inexcusable. And he had 0 points in the first quarter as well. In addition to KD, I would love to see Chris Paul, CP3 himself, put a couple more points on the board. He had a nice stat line, 7 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. But I want to see him score a little more.
Yeah, I definitely disagree. I mean, Russell Westbrook played offensively poorly, and they still won the game. And look, if he plays like that again defensively against Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, they're going to win.
Yeah, I think if you get that defensive effort, the Clippers could go up 2-0. Last night, the Los Angeles Kings stole home ice advantage after taking down the Edmonton Oilers 4-3 in Game 1 of the first round of the NHL playoffs. The Kings got off to a slow start and fell behind 2-0 in the first period. But fast forward to the third period, Adrian Kempe got LA on the board with a nice backhand. Shortly after, though, Leon Draisaitl scored his second on the night to make it a 2-goal game. With 8 minutes left in the third period, Kempe clapped back again to bring the Kings within 1. And then with 17 seconds left in the game, you see it right there. The captain, Anze Kopitar, tied it up and forced overtime. The Kings got a power play opportunity in overtime, and make no mistake, they capitalized. Alex Iafallo scored the game-winning goal. The Kings and Oilers will face off tomorrow night in Edmonton for Game 2. On another note, USC alum and NFL linebacker Devon Kennard returned home to USC today to promote his book, It All Adds Up. It All Adds Up teaches readers about financial literacy and guidance. I had the opportunity to sit down with Devon to discuss his book and his experience at USC.
It's just great to be back, and the biggest thing I see is the campus has changed a lot. This building in itself, it's cool to see that USC is progressing in the ways that it is. I'm proud to be an alum. Being a professional athlete and then having the career success I've had, it still made me realize I'm going in my 10th year in the NFL, but it's still going to end, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the money that I've made, and that's not the case for a lot of athletes and a lot of people in general. I have a unique opportunity. I'm in the trenches right now in an industry that I'm really passionate about, but have a unique background being a professional athlete, and I want to talk about it now. Why wait? And I feel like there's things I can teach and things I can show people that can really change their lives. That was my initial, kind of motivation.
If you're interested in learning more about Devon's book, he is having an exclusive signing event this evening on the first floor of the USC bookstore from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that's all we have for ATVN Sports. I'm Jeremy Cole.
And I'm Marissa Rio, now tossing it over to Darielle for more news.
Thank you, Jeremy and Marissa. We have everything you need to know about what's happening on and around campus. SC What's Happening is next.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial acerca de este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles. Rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor. Y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
President Hannah Woodworth will be handing over the torch to President-elect Divya Jakatar. I spoke to Hannah this afternoon about her experience as president. As USG president, you were able to reallocate funds to push students to USG transparency. What would you say is your most proudest moment or piece of legislation that you were able to pass?
That's really tough because we have created so much meaningful legislation this year. But our proudest accomplishment, or at least my proudest accomplishment, probably is the USC LAX shuttle. This is a service that is by students and for students, and it is fully free and brings students to LAX ahead of holiday breaks. It's an affordability initiative, it's a sustainability initiative, and the best part is that the university is actually taking over the program next year. It is our goal in student government to demonstrate the need of something and then for the university to take it over. And we were able to do that in only 1 year's time, which is pretty unheard of. So we're really proud that we're able to demonstrate that need and now utilize that funding next year to respond to the evolving needs of the student body. And so we can keep creating cutting edge initiatives that reflect the changing needs.
Thanks to Hannah for taking the time to speak to us. The State of the USG address happens tonight at 7 in the Tudor Campus Center Forum.
In this week's Breaking Barriers segment, reporter Faith McGrath sits down with the casting director at Lucasfilm Animation.
Thank you, Darielle. April Caputi is hearing impaired, and she was fed up with the lack of representation of the disability community in the entertainment industry. April told me about what inspired her to make a difference through casting.
I, internally just naturally thought of disability as being included in diversity and inclusion. But I don't think it was really until I got deeper into the world of casting and deeper within the disability community that realized that this is a larger diversity and inclusion conversation that needed to be held, that more people need to be aware of.
April has worked in casting for the TV series Star Trek, Lower Decks, and The Close. April hopes for an accessible future where people with disabilities don't have to play characters that only have disabilities. April is the co-leader of Disney's first LA Disabilities Business Employee Research Group called Enabled LA. The group currently has more than 600 members.
Tickets to Coachella Weekend 2? Don't fret, SC What's Happening's got you covered.
That's right. Tonight's Dodgers game against the Mets will pay tribute to the 73rd anniversary of Vince Scully's first regular season broadcast.
Explore the LA Times Festival of Books Saturday and Sunday for panels, readings by authors, and musical performances.
I am so looking forward to that. Looking to catch some sun? Well, Rory sure is. USC's Pfizer Research Group is hosting a cleanup at Alamitos Beach Sunday morning at 9:30.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a jam-packed weekend, Jose.
That does sound like a lot of fun. Well, thanks to you all for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Jose Romo.
And I'm Dario Fair. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.